Very little has changed for my Forex funds since they were shut down by US and Canadian regulators in late August. But a lot has changed for the prop trading industry. In this video, I'll be talking about what is going on with Deel, the 5 ways prop firms are adapting, and the challenges that the industry as a whole are facing, along with new ways to trade prop. Thousands of my Forex fund traders have been waiting at the edge of their seats to see if they'll get a payout on their profits or receive a refund on their challenges. I warned that it was going to be a long road ahead and recommended that, if you do have paid challenges, to contact your credit card company. Now, some of you did write back to me and say you were able to reclaim your funds this way, and I hope more of you are able to. It should be no surprise that the big My Forex Fund's September 11th court date passed with no update and no major announcements or developments. This was a preliminary hearing on the injunction, and given the severity and clearly laid out charges, it was unlikely that the freeze on their businesses would be lifted so quickly. We haven't received an update from My Forex Funds or CFTC at the time of this recording, but the Canadian regulator, the Ontario Securities Exchange Commission, extended the temporary order and adjourned or postponed their original hearings from September 13th to October 30th. So clearly a long road ahead. While My Forex Funds is accused of very specific practices that are unique to the company, there's no doubt in my mind that regulators are looking at changes that could affect the entire prop trading industry as a whole. The fact that Deel, the primary payment provider, halted payouts for many prop firms confirms that this has become an industry-wide problem. According to theinformation.com, Deel is under investigation by the CFTC. Apparently, Deel facilitated over $72 million in payouts in the past year for My Forex Funds. And on August 24th, they were subpoenaed by the CFTC for invoices of the transactions and probably more. Now, not all prop firms have their payments affected, but it's a good number of them. But Deel appears to be working through these problems quickly, doing their compliance reviews, and many of these companies have seen their payments lifted. All of this, though, is forcing prop trading firms to make changes even before the CFTC makes any decisions, because they want to get ahead of possible regulation adjustments. Here are the 5 ways that I see Forex prop firms have been adapting. Number 1, language changes. You're seeing the words virtual and simulated used more often. The very first thing that many of the prop firms did was change their language on their website. Companies from Funded Engineer to Bespoke Funding and My Funded FX are now calling the challenges simulated accounts and calling the targets and losses virtual profit targets and losses. In other words, they're gamifying prop trading, and they're characterizing as a game with simulated trading, virtual targets, and profits. Payouts are still happening, but they're being called virtual profit payouts. Number 2, many of these firms are diversifying to futures. Prop firms, are looking at the futures prop trading as an alternative or better business model for them, because one of the main CFTC charges for My Forex Funds is that they manipulated the price feed. Futures prices come from the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, whereas there's no centralized Forex exchange for prices. While some Forex prop firms are diversifying into futures, there are some that have already been offering a futures-funded prop trading for years, and this includes Apex Trader Funding and Top Step. Number 3, there are new ways to trade prop that traders are discovering and new ways to get funded. Some of these firms have been around for a while and others are new. One company getting a lot of traction is DarwinX, which connects traders with investors. They use something called the D-score to measure the quality of your return, and that will determine how much you get funded and how quickly you get funded with the D-score. Now, many of these traders are starting with something simpler called DarwinX Zero, which is a combination of the traditional funded model and the D-score model. Axie, a major CFD broker, launched a free program called Axie Select that also uses a score method called the Edge Score. The main difference here is that they don't charge an evaluation fee. They just look for a brokerage account and for your participation in Axie Select. There are also companies that are beginning to pay out in tokens, and so we're probably going to see more of this. And I've included the links for some of these companies in the description below if you want to find out more information. Number 4, many of these prop firms are lawyering up. They're retaining counsel, making sure that internally and externally they're making changes to avoid the same fate as My Forex Funds. Number 5, changing and diversifying payouts. With the recent Deel development, many prop trading firms are also diversifying payouts, offering bank wires and crypto payments as alternatives. Now, all of this continues to be an evolving situation. I don't think the funded prop trading business is dead, but I do think they'll be forced to make more changes that will help traders at the expense of their bottom lines. But we all know that there are fat profits for these prop firms. So giving up some for a fair business model for everyone is definitely a good thing in my book. Subscribe to my channel for more updates in the prop trading industry as well as valuable trading tips. I'll see you next time.